Namaste, friends. My name is Amit Garg. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Ganesha-Hanuman.com. And today we'll talk about the direct motion of Saturn. See, Saturn has been retrograde for the past several months, 5 months. Since June 2023, Saturn has been retrograde. So a lot of things have been stalled, obstructions, delays. So we'll talk what that means for all the 12 rising signs. It's going to be a long, transit. So essentially, Saturn is going to be direct from November 4th through June of 2024. So for the next 7 months, this video will be relevant. Before we get started, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And also, you can go to my website, Ganesha-Hanuman.com, and subscribe to the email newsletters that I send out with tidbits and transits and useful information. So let's get started. Let me share my screen. All right. So as you can see, Saturn is going to be direct in Aquarius, its own Mula Trikona sign, from November 4th through June 29, 2024. Right. So for the next 7 months, 8 months, that's going to be the case. So that's a long period. So you can come back to this video often. So this is for Aries rising. This chart is as of November 5th, right? So November 4th is when Saturn is going direct. And this is the chart for the next day. So this is Aries rising, #1 sign Aries. So Saturn represents all of these things and a lot more. Saturn is the planet for career, karma. It's the commitment, responsibility, accountability. Saturn is the most hardworking, makes us work hard, basically. And organization, management, taking care of things, right? So all of that is Saturn. So all those things will get a boost in general for all the rising signs, right? Not just for Aries, for all rising signs, these things will be better. Now, of course, you have to look at your chart, how Saturn is placed, how Aquarius is placed, how, where is your Lagna Lord, all of that. But in general, there'll be forward movement in these areas of life for all rising signs. Now, how will that impact each specific rising sign? So this video is based on, you should look at your rising sign, which means the Lagna, the ascendant, right? So #1 sign is Aries. So this is for Aries rising. Let me show you what we're talking about. So Saturn is placed in the 11th house for Aries rising. Okay, so this is Aquarius, Saturn placed in the 11th house, in the 11th sign. And so from here, Saturn is going to cast an aspect, the 3rd aspect on the 1st house, the 7th aspect on the 5th house, and the 10th aspect on the 9th house. Okay. I'm sorry, not the 9th house, 8th house, 10th aspect on the 8th house, right? So Saturn sitting in the 11th house will have the 3rd aspect, the 7th aspect, and the 10th aspect. So that means these areas of life will get a boost. Okay, so when I say get a boost, means things will move forward. Now, that doesn't mean everything will be, really good and peaceful and positive. There may be certain challenges also. So now, what Saturn does is it wants you to, go through your karma, okay, from the past lives, right? And so let's say Saturn has a 3rd aspect on your Lagna. So that means things related to your Lagna, Saturn wants those things to move forward. That means there may be some obstacles also, because from past lives, unless you overcome those obstacles, you will not move forward or make progress in your 1st house related matters. Okay, so Saturn will be, so the reason I put the love signs is because it's going to be a forward movement, which could be, challenges, but we will make progress. Okay, so Aries rising people will make progress in the 1st house, 5th house, and the 8th house matters with Saturn going direct. So that means, first house, your personality, your health in general, right? So you'll get a boost. You'll feel more confident. You'll feel more responsible, more mature. And then 5th house, your children will actually, maybe they show signs of maturity, and, they'll own more, they'll be more responsible. They'll say, hey, hey, mom and dad, I can do these things, right? So all the 5th house matters. There will be more creativity, which is long term, right? For the long term, Saturn is the planet for long term commitment. Similarly, eighth house matters. So maybe, legacy and inheritance and occult knowledge, learning, wisdom, all of those things will get a boost with Saturn going direct. Now, those are the aspects. More than that, Saturn is the 10th ruler and the 11th ruler for Aries rising, sitting in the 11th house. Okay, so that's going to be a major shift. 10th house is our career, and Saturn anyway is the planet for career. It's in the natural zodiac, called Purusha Kundali. Saturn is the ruler of the 10th house, which is our career, profession, work, right? So the 10th ruler sitting in the 11th house. So literally it just means gains from your work, from your profession. So your profession will start moving forward. All these things which might have been stuck for your 10th house and 11th house may start moving forward. You may have to work hard a lot. And you may seem like, oh, it's all work, no play, which is how Saturn gives you benefits, gives you, blessings, it makes you work hard, but then those things give you a reward over a long period of time. So your career will get a boost. Your relationship with the authorities will get a boost. Your name and fame may get a boost. And also, you will develop friendships with friends who are mature. Like your friendships will not be like superficial. You'll develop good friendships with people who are thinking deep, who are mature. Okay, so these friendships will long last. Saturn will not waste your time in just sitting on social media doing nothing. You'll be reaching out to the friends, and it may be a restricted circle of friends, not like thousands of friends, but the ones you develop, the friendships you develop during this time will be very long lasting and beneficial for you, for your upliftment, for your dharma, for your karma. And 11th house is gains, and 11th house is also your desires. So Saturn may actually bring you back to figuring out what essentially you need. So Saturn will make sure you don't have any lavish or desires that are unreasonable, right? So Saturn will make you want things which are reasonable and for your own upliftment. So that's Saturn in the 11th house. So that's the Aries rising. So from November 4th through June 29th, Saturn will have this impact. Now you have to look at your own chart, and this is general, prediction for Saturn in Aquarius for Aries rising. But then there are other planets, right? So they'll keep on moving during this period. These planets will not stay in these signs, right? So there'll be shifts, but this video is specifically just for the impact of Saturn, how these things will change in our life with respect to different houses that we're looking at. Okay. So next we'll see Taurus rising. Okay. So this is Taurus rising. And let's see where Saturn is placed. So for Taurus rising, Saturn is placed in the 10th house. And Saturn will be having a third aspect on the 12th house, seventh aspect on the 4th house, and of course, the 10th aspect on the 7th house. Okay, so these three houses will get a boost. Now, this is the video for direct motion of Saturn, which means some of those things in your case, the 9th house matters and the 10th house matters might have been stuck. You may have faced obstacles when Saturn was retrograde since June 2023, June 17, 2023, Saturn has been retrograde. So maybe you might have faced obstacles with your father, with your guru, with your higher studies, education, and with your career, with your profession, with the authorities. All of that may have been stuck or pending or lots of obstacles. So those things will start moving forward. So in general, these things will get a boost in your life. That's true for all rising signs. Your career, your karma, Saturn is the planet for management, responsibility, accountability, honesty, truth, hard work, commitment. All of those things will get a boost in general. And so specifically for Taurus rising, Saturn will have a positive aspect on the 12th house, 7th house, and 10th house. 4th house and 7th house. That means things related to your 12th house, things related to your 4th house, and things related to your 7th house will move forward. They may have been stuck. Now, that doesn't mean it'll be all positive or good and enjoyable. It means Saturn will make you work hard in these areas. And that may also mean there may be obstacles, right? So going forward or making progress means you have to overcome obstacles based on your past life karma. So if you have lots of issues based on past life karma, around these three houses, then you'll face obstacles first. But those obstacles are necessary. You need to overcome those in order to make progress. So that depends on your own karma, individual karma. But in general, there'll be positive impact on, your foreign relationships. Maybe, people you do business with in foreign countries, or you may actually make a trip in the foreign country. You may focus more on other planes of existence and deep, unconscious mind, astral travel. And then fourth house matters: your mother, your home, your happiness, the things that you value, your real estate, your vehicles, your home, place of residence. All those things will get a positive boost. And your relationships in general, one-on-one partnerships, both personal and private, will get, they'll start moving forward. Now, specifically, Saturn is the ruler of the 9th house and the 10th house, sitting in the 10th house for Taurus risings. That means things related to your father, things related to your gurus, higher wisdom, maybe higher education. This is a perfect time to start higher education, especially Saturn sitting in the 10th house. That will give you rewards in your career. And Saturn itself, sitting in the Mula Trikona sign in the 10th house, ruler of the 10th house, big boost for your career. Excellent time to make progress, to set the foundation, to do hard work, to manage, to be responsible when it comes to things for your career, right? So you may still feel it's a lot of hard work, but this work is going to be very, very useful, fruitful. Whatever things you do for the next 7 months, 8 months, while Saturn is sitting in your 10th house, excellent period, probably for the rest of your life, to set the foundation for your career. So that's the big positive energies that are going to manifest for Taurus rising. Next is Gemini rising. So we're talking about Saturn's direct motion in sign of Aquarius from November 4th through June 29th, 2024. So Saturn has been retrograde since June 17th, 2023. And during this time, all these karakas of Saturn, the things that Saturn stand for, may have been compromised, or obstacles might have been there in these areas, especially our career. Saturn is the karma karaka. So now Saturn is going to be direct. And for Gemini rising, it's going to be in the 9th house. It's the 8th house and 9th house ruler sitting in the 9th house. Now, see, Saturn will give results as per its nature, right? So whether it's a friend of the Lagna or enemy or anything, its inherent nature is to give you hard work. You make you work hard. It's a very mature planet, so makes you responsible, accountable, makes you, manage things properly, right? So all these areas that Saturn is affecting now, those houses will have positive results. So the things related to those houses will start moving forward. So now let's see. So Saturn is sitting here in the 9th house, and Saturn will be aspecting the 11th house. That is the third aspect. The third house, which is the 7th aspect of Saturn, and Saturn has a 10th aspect, which is going to be the 6th house. Okay, so sitting in the 9th house for Gemini rising, Saturn is going to impact or aspect the 11th house, the 3rd house, and the 6th house. So that means things related to these houses will start moving forward. That means there may be obstacles still, depending on your past life karma, but those obstacles are necessary for you to, make progress. So that's the karmic results you have to encounter, but then there will be progress in these areas. So related to your friends, your desires, your income may grow, your relationship with your siblings may become better, communication will be better, your health routine and your service, and things related to like enemies, you'll be stronger, fighting the Shadripus, the 6 weaknesses. All of those areas should improve, or start giving better results. Okay, and now see, this is the chart for November 5th. Saturn is going to be in your 9th house from November through June of 2024. But the other planets will keep moving, so don't look at the other planets because they will be, keep changing signs. And so that means Saturn is the 8th house and the 9th house ruler sitting in the 9th house. Okay, all the things related to 8th house and 9th house will improve a lot. Okay, so that means there may be you may have faced issues with your gurus, with your father for the past 5 months. Now Saturn is direct, right? So that means some misunderstandings or issues or obstacles or problems with your father, with your gurus, or even with your higher education may be resolved now. So good time to start, higher studies, good time to start a sangha, good time to start association with father, with gurus and teachers, and learn from these. And of course, your belief system, ninth house is also belief system. So we may have, you may have experienced some issues, figuring out what to believe in and things like that. So now those things will improve. Okay, and so eighth house in the ninth house, very strong, sitting in Mula Trikona sign. So maybe some good things regarding inheritance, maybe some legacy issues may be resolved. You may be waiting for some inheritance, and those issues may be resolved now. There may be transformation, change and transformation through higher wisdom. Eighth house is change, transformation. Ninth house is wisdom, right? I'm sorry, ninth house is higher wisdom, right? So you may actually the overall theme of eighth house and ninth house will be that you will go very deep in spirituality, change and transformation through higher studies, through gurus, through association with sangha, through maybe long distance travels, through pilgrimage, and you may actually dive deep into occult sciences, studies of esoteric subjects, and also positive things regarding inheritance, money from other people, even from in-laws or from your clients. So client work will improve for Gemini rising. If you are doing if you're like a healer or doing any client work, you will get positive results. You'll have gains from your clients. So this is the effect of Saturn turning direct on November 4th through June 29th. Of course, you have to look at your natal chart also, the placement of different planets in your charts, but this is just an overall general overview. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm also starting a new course on Jyotish starting November 8th. So if you want to join, the details are in the description. So that's for Gemini rising. Next is Cancer rising. Cancer rising, so we're talking about Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th through June 29th, 2024. Saturn has been retrograde for the past 5 months since June of 17th, 2023. So Saturn is the ruler of your 7th house and 8th house. So those things may have been stalled, or maybe a lot of obstacles and issues regarding 7th house, 8th house matters. Those will resolve now. You'll get positive results. So let's see. So Saturn is sitting in the 8th house. It's the ruler of the 8th house, Mula Trikona sign, Aquarius, ruler of 7th house, sitting in the 8th house. And Saturn is going to cast an aspect on your 10th house, on your 2nd house, and on your 5th house. Okay. So 10th house, 2nd house, and 5th. So this is the 3rd aspect of Saturn. This is the 7th aspect of Saturn. This is the 10th aspect of Saturn. So that means things related to these houses will improve, because retrograde motion means correcting some things, going back and changing things, looking at the missed opportunities, but not so much the forward motion. But now Saturn is direct. So that means these houses, the aspect of Saturn, will bring positive change, will bring progress in these areas of life. There may still be obstacles. You may still have to work very, very hard. Saturn is the planet of hard work, right? So, but that means that hard work will not go waste. You will make progress in your career, with your superiors, in your family matters, family wealth, in your speech, in your food, in your diet, and with your children, respect to your romantic relationships, your creativity, sports, mantra shastra, all of those things should improve. But most of all, Saturn being the ruler of 7th house and 8th house, those areas will improve dramatically. So you may have had some issues regarding your relationships in the past 5 months. Those may get resolved. You may have issues with your inheritance. Those issues may resolve now. There may be some change in your relationship, because 7th house is a relationship, 8th house is change, but that will be a positive change, because Saturn is very strong in Mula Trikona sign, Aquarius, and it's going to be direct now. Or there may be some spiritual, shift in your relationship. Both you and your partner may become more spiritual. Your foundation of your relationship may become spiritual. You may also have like shared interest in learning about occult sciences, about mysticism, right? So that is the best remedy actually for Gemini rising, for Cancer rising, to focus on spiritual things, learn deep spiritual sciences as a couple, together with your partner. And then also your shared finances will improve, like especially the second house aspect and sitting in the eighth house. So your shared finances as a couple will improve. The resources that you pull in, you'll get more money from other people, more positive things for inheritance. You may get psychological insights into your relationship in general. Also, Saturn sitting in the eighth house gives you depth of wisdom. Saturn is the planet of depth, and there may be some mysteries revealed. I mean, Saturn in the eighth house, you may, get to understand some secrets of the universe, deeper meaning of your relationship. Also, some secrets about your relationship may also be revealed. So all of that, and in general, Saturn represents all these things. So those will improve in your life as Saturn goes direct. But again, this is general prediction, and all the other planets will keep moving. We're only looking at the placement of Saturn, and you have to look at your own chart also. So that's in general how Saturn's direct motion from November 4th through June 29th is going to be for Cancer rising. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm starting a Jyotish course from November 8th. If you're interested, the details are going to be in the description section below. Thanks for watching. So next we'll see the Leo rising. Okay, so we're looking at Leo rising. We're talking about Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th through June 29th. Saturn has been retrograde since June 17th, 2023 until tomorrow, so November 4th. So that means areas represented by Saturn, the career, the karma, all of those things would have been compromised, or maybe you may not have noticed progress in those areas. Going forward, so for Leo rising, Saturn is the sixth house ruler and the seventh house ruler sitting in the seventh house, right? So Saturn sitting in Mula Trikona sign, and sitting there, Saturn is casting third aspect on the ninth house, seventh aspect on the Lagna, and 10th aspect on the fourth house. Okay, so that means the things related to these three houses will improve, because Saturn is going direct now. Direct means it means business, especially sitting in the Mula Trikona sign. Okay, and also the other planets, those will keep moving. So throughout this period, only Saturn is going to be here, right? So other planets will keep moving. So don't look at other placements. Only look at the Saturn right now. And you have to look at your own natal chart also. But this is general prediction overall. So for Leo rising, your relationship with your father, with your gurus will improve. You may embark on higher studies. Excellent time for enrolling in a higher studies course, and especially you'll focus more on your health, on your personality, on your self-development. The Lagna will be stronger, Saturn's aspect, so things will move forward in those areas. There may still be obstacles. You have to work very hard still. It doesn't mean it's going to be a bed of roses, but things will move forward. And your fourth house related matters: your mother, your home, your real estate, your vehicles, your inner happiness, your physical residence. Those things will improve. Okay, but most of all, more importantly, the sixth house matters and the seventh house matters will improve quite a bit. That means there may be you may have to have a balance between your relationship and your responsibilities, right? Strike a balance between all your responsibilities, sixth house, and your relationship, seventh house. You may develop some work-related, work-oriented relationships, like maybe develop some relationship with your co-worker, right, from your work. Or there may be some conflict at work, but that conflict may get resolved now. You may have issues in the past with your colleagues, with your work-related colleagues. Those issues may resolve now. You may actually develop some service-oriented partnerships, like maybe you're volunteering somewhere, right? So from that place, you may develop some relationships, partnerships. Need not be like actual romantic relationship. It could be business partnerships also. Okay, and you may actually do health routines with your partner. That's an excellent time to start some health routine, some health regimen, some healthy things like exercise and things like that with your partner, along with your partner, because sixth house is health, seventh house is your relationship, your partner. And you may actually try to look at your relationships in a very analytical manner, because sixth house is analytical. It's like going to the root of the matter. Like sixth house is analysis, and so it may be more mature kind of relationships, actually very, very mature relationships, stable, solid relationships. Seventh, see, Saturn in the seventh house, people fear Saturn in the seventh house, but it's actually very good. Saturn in the seventh house gives you one solid relationship throughout your life. So we're not talking about natal chart, we're talking about the transit. So but still, that means this period will be very good for a good solid relationship. And also you may resolve some legal issues in your relationship. Sixth house is legal matters and seventh house is relationships. So, and Saturn is strong, Mula Trikona sign. So that means good, results for your relationships with respect to legal issues or anything like that. And one caution, do not impose your weaknesses on your partner. Sixth house is your Shadripus, your six weaknesses. Do not bring those into your relationships. Work on those on your own. So that's the general overview for Leo rising, for the Saturn's direct motion in sign of Aquarius. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm also starting a course on November 8th. If you're interested, the details will be in the description section below. Thanks for watching. So next, we'll look at, let's see. So next will be Virgo rising. So this is the chart for Virgo rising. We're talking about Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th, 2023 through June 29th, 2024. So Saturn has been retrograde since June 17th, 2023. So all these areas may have been compromised, especially your career. You may have faced issues in your career, in your work, in your profession. And then so specifically for Virgo rising, Saturn is sitting in the sixth house. It's the ruler of fifth house and sixth house, sitting in the sixth house in Mula Trikona sign, Aquarius. And from there, it'll be casting a third aspect on your eighth house, seventh aspect on your 12th house, and 10th aspect on your third house. Okay. So that means these areas of life, from as represented by the 8th house, 12th house, and the third house, those will improve. See, Saturn has been retrograde, and now it's going to be direct, sitting very strong in Mula Trikona sign. So any matters related to 8th house, 12th house, and third house will move forward. It doesn't mean there won't be obstacles. There may still be obstacles, because Saturn brings you things that you need from the past life, the results of your past karma, right? So if you are supposed to encounter some obstacles, you'll face those and then get done with those, right? So you'll move forward. That's the idea of a strong Saturn. Strong Saturn doesn't mean all happy, bed of roses. It's not that. Strong Saturn means making you work hard towards your final goal. So 8th house matters, your inheritance, your legacy, money from other people, change happening for positive results. All of those things will be improving. 12th house matters, your relationship with foreign people, foreign culture. You'll learn things about foreign culture. Maybe you study foreign subjects. You may even go on a foreign trip. Those things will be very beneficial for you. You may develop interest in astral travel, the mysteries of the unconscious mind. Those things will improve. And the third house, the siblings, communication skills, short distance travels, your neighbors, all of those things will improve. Especially good time for doing things related to journalism, marketing, communication, webinars, improving your skills, especially skills related to your hands. So those areas will improve. Now this chart is as of November 5th, but see, the other planets will keep moving. They won't be in these signs all through this duration. So only look at Saturn here, and of course look at your own natal chart also. Now, the most importantly though, Saturn is the ruler of your fifth house and sixth house, sitting in the sixth house. What does that mean? Those areas will improve quite a bit. That means maybe you will have work-related interaction with your children. In other words, your children may actually get involved in your job. They may help you with your job, right? Or they may take up a job with you. And you may actually develop some health routines along with your children. Maybe start going for jogging with your children, some healthy diet with your children, or with a romantic partner. Fifth house is also a romantic partner, right? You may develop some creative projects, very responsible manner, meaning, some creative project that is fifth house. And you'll do those with a sense of responsibility, as in, very mature way, with a purpose, with a meaning, not just in a frivolous way, not just for fun, but for making some change, some difference, having a purpose in those projects, right? So pick up any creative project as a profession, as something, to earn money or to improve your health, or just it should have some purpose. Okay, so big emphasis on creativity, especially it could be service oriented creativity, because sixth house is service to other people and fifth house is creativity, or creativity related to health. Okay, so all of those areas will improve, and excellent time to focus on your six weaknesses, Shadripus. Sixth houses are weaknesses, and Saturn is very strong in Mula Trikona sign sitting in the sixth house. So that's the general overview for Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th through June 29th for Virgo rising. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. So next we'll look at Libra rising. So Libra rising, this is the number 7 sign, Libra rising. We're talking about Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius. Saturn has been going retrograde for the past 5 months, since June 17th. And so that means especially our career may have been compromised, difficulties, issues with our career. And also for Virgo rising, Libra rising, Saturn is the 4th ruler and the 5th ruler sitting in the 5th house. Let me show you that. So Saturn is the ruler of 4th house and the 5th house, sitting in the 5th house. Mula Trikona sign, Aquarius, very strong, sitting in the 5th house. And sitting here, Saturn is casting a 3rd aspect on the 7th house, 7th aspect on the 11th house, and 10th aspect on the 2nd house. Okay, so sitting here, Saturn is casting aspect on your 7th house, on your 11th house, and on your 2nd house. That means things related to these houses will start moving forward. For the past 5 months, things related to these houses may have been stuck, difficulties, obstacles, going back and changing things, rechanging things again and again, right? So those issues may get resolved now. That doesn't mean you don't have to work hard. You still have to work hard. There may still be obstacles depending on the past karma from your past lives, but those obstacles will have to be tackled anyway to make progress based on your karma. So in other words, there will be progress in the forward direction related to your relationships, related to your financial gains, to your social network, to your friends, to your desires, and related to your family wealth, and your speech and your food. All of those areas should improve. But most importantly, the things related to your 4th house and 5th house will improve, because Saturn rules your 4th house and your 5th house. That means you may show some creative projects related to your home. You may develop some, new creative ways of decorating your home, or create something sitting at your home. This is a good time for nurturing and caring for your children. 4th house is nurturing and caring. 5th house is your children, or spending time with your romantic partner. A good time for that, especially sitting at home. Good for creating some like maybe even getting into real estate with your children, some real estate projects, or buying a vehicle for your children or with your children, and focusing on finding out what gives you inner happiness along with your children. So have mature discussions with your children. Saturn is the planet of maturity. Saturn is commitment, management, responsibility, accountability. So all of those things will be good for your children. So in other words, your children will show signs of maturity, responsibility, accountability, good management skills. So those things will improve for your children, and also with your romantic partner, and also with your mother. Your relationship with your mother will actually improve quite a bit during this period. You may have faced issues, problems with your mother, or with your home in general during the Saturn's retrograde motion since June. So now those things will improve quite a bit. All right, so that was the impact of Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th through June 29th. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And again, the other planets will actually keep moving. So you just look at the Saturn's position in this chart. This is the transit chart. Okay. So now next we'll move on to Scorpio rising. So we're talking about Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th through June 29th, 2024. Now, since June 17th of 2023, Saturn has been retrograde. That means especially your career may have been impacted, and your third house issue karakas and the fourth house karaka, those things may have been impacted negatively for the past 5 months. Now, let me show you. So Saturn is, for Scorpio rising, Saturn is the third house ruler and the fourth house ruler, sitting in the fourth house. And sitting in the fourth house, Saturn is casting a third aspect on your sixth house. Okay, third aspect on your sixth house, seventh aspect on your 10th house. Okay, seventh aspect on your 10th house, and 10th aspect on your Lagna. Okay, so things related to these three houses will improve. Things will start moving forward related to these houses. This doesn't mean there won't be any obstacles. There will still be obstacles because Saturn's job is to, present your past life karma. So if if there are obstacles, that results you have to experience, Saturn will present those, and you'll get them out of the way so that you can make progress. So that is essential for you to go through those obstacles. Okay, so Saturn is just doing its job of presenting you with your karma, but things related to your health, to your work, to your volunteer services to other people, and things related to legal matters, those things will improve. You'll see positive movement. Things related to your career should improve. Things related to your own self, your personality, your health in general, your self development, those things will improve. But most importantly, Saturn, being the third house ruler and the fourth house ruler, those things will improve the most. So your connection with your siblings will improve. Your connection with your mother, with your home in general, will improve. And your communication with your siblings will improve. There may be emphasis on tradition, like with your siblings, you'll sit down with your mother, with your siblings, and focus on what, some traditional things. Do something traditional that you used to do earlier. Okay. A good time for real estate, good time for property matters, good time for vehicles. Good time for learning skills with your siblings, sitting at home. Good time for learning skills from your mother along with your siblings. Good time for doing documentation, communication things related to short distance travels. So your short distance travels will be beneficial if you're doing things especially connected to your home improvement, things like that, and your communication will improve. And good time for learning skills, especially skills related to your hands, sitting at home. So basically do some courses from home, or learn some things sitting at home. So that's the general analysis for Scorpio rising, for the impact of Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th through June 29th. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. So next will be the sign of Sagittarius. So let me show you. So we're talking about Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th through June 29th. It's a long period of direct motion for Saturn. Saturn represents all these things. So especially, and Saturn has been retrograde since June 17th. That means you may have faced issues, especially with your career in the past 5 months. So these things will improve. Now let me show you. So Saturn is the second house ruler and the third house ruler, sitting in the third house. Okay, so from the third house, Saturn is casting a third aspect on your fifth house. Okay, seventh aspect on your ninth house. Okay, and 10th aspect on your 12th house. Okay, so Saturn is having a third aspect on your fifth house, seventh aspect on your ninth house, and 10th aspect in your 12th house. That means the things related to your 5th house, 9th house, and 12th house will improve. You may have faced obstacles in these areas in the past 5 months, but things will start moving forward now. It doesn't mean you won't have obstacles. You'll still have obstacles because Saturn brings you all that you need to encounter in order to make progress. And also you still have to work hard. It doesn't mean it's going to be very easy or bed of roses, but Saturn will make you work hard, but you'll make progress. So things related to your children, romantic partners, things related to your creativity, things related with respect to your father, with your gurus, with your sangha, with your higher studies, higher education, good time for higher education, and things related to foreign matters, foreign people, foreign travel, those things will improve. And you'll get insights from ancestors, astral travel, subconscious mind, study of the subconscious mind, isolation, as in you may go on a retreat, ashram, all of those things will improve. But most importantly, the maximum benefit will be for the second house matters and the third house matters, because Saturn rules the second house and the third house, sitting in the third house. So that means communication skills will improve. You'll develop new skills. Your communication will improve. It'll become very mature. You'll be very, very mature in your communication. Your finances will improve. Especially family wealth, that's the second house, will improve, and you'll discuss your finances with your siblings. It's a good time to do that. You may have earning through your communication. Okay, so communication skills, and second house is earning money. So good time for earning through communication. You may also end up spending on your siblings though, so be careful about that. And this is a good time for short trips for financial gains. The second house is finances and third house is short trips. So good time for meaningful short trips, let's say within the city. Okay, and good time to balance your values, like family values, and your communication. Like you will start talking about family wealth and family issues, family values, and with your siblings, and in general, communication about those issues will be the primary focus. And you'll do all that in a very responsible manner, because Saturn is the planet for responsibility and accountability. So that is the impact of Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November through June 29th, 2024. And again, the other planets will actually keep moving. Throughout this duration, only Saturn will be in Aquarius, right? So don't look at other planets. I'll have separate videos for Jupiter, Rahu, and Ketu and other planets. But this video is talking about Saturn's impact in the sign of Aquarius for Sagittarius rising. Okay, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And next, we'll move to the sign of Capricorn. Okay, so this is number 10 sign, Capricorn rising. We're talking about Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th through June 29th, 2024. Saturn has been retrograde since June 17th, 2023. So that means especially your career may have been impacted, and things related to your Lagna and your second house may have been facing issues. Because Saturn rules your Lagna, and Saturn is the second house ruler also for Capricorn rising, sitting in the second house. So you may have faced setbacks with respect to your family wealth, your speech, yourself in general, self-confidence, your personality. All those things may have been compromised in the past 5 months. Now is the time to go forward. And also, Saturn is sitting in the second house. Saturn is having a third aspect on your fourth house, and seventh aspect on your eighth house, and 10th aspect on your 11th house. So Saturn has a third aspect on your fourth house, seventh aspect on your eighth house, and 10th aspect on your 11th house. That means things related to these houses will start moving forward. In the past 5 months, you may have faced obstacles with your mother, with your house, with real estate, obstacles, lot of change and transformation. Sudden changes may have been happening, and financial issues, maybe less financial gains, and issues with social media, issues with your friends. Those things will start getting resolved. So you'll have better relationship with your mother. You'll have positive, feeling energies at your home. Maybe, some real estate deals, or maybe buying a new vehicle, things like that. And searching for inner happiness will have some positive, results for you. And you may get some legacy inheritance, money from other people, and change transformation may still happen, but that'll be for, you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. You'll see the purpose and meaning of change happening. And then you may also have positive financial gains and gains from your job, from your profession, and also good relationship, solid, responsible, long-term relationship with your friends, not like thousands of friends, but specific selected friends who are mature. You'll develop better relationships with your friends. But most importantly, the things related to yourself and to your second house will improve. That means there'll be emphasis on your personal values. Second house is the family values and things. First house is your personality, yourself. So you'll develop, some personal values. There'll be strong desire to focus on family wealth. This is a perfect time, excellent time to organize your family wealth, to work on, developing, increasing, improving your family wealth. And you may get earnings through your self-expression. I mean, the first house is self, and then second house is voice and expression. And finances, right? So earnings through self-expression is the through speech. That's really, really powerful. And you'll, lot of self-improvement, self-development, personality development, who you are. Those things will be the focus. There'll be focus on your voice, on your speech, on your appearance. The first house, second house connect. It's a lot of focus on your voice and your appearance. You'll appear more responsible to other people. You'll act more mature. Okay, and you'll be very persuasive in your speech. Saturn in the second house in Mula Trikona sign means you'll speak like a very old soul, very mature speech. So this is the time to capitalize on that. Start some webinars, some speaking series, or some communication related to wealth, related to self-improvement. Those things are going to be very, very beneficial. So that's overall impact of Saturn's direct motion in Aquarius. From November 4th through June 29th, long period for Capricorn rising. Okay. So if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Next, we're going to talk about the Aquarius rising. So this is Aquarius rising. So we're talking about Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th, 2023 through June 29th, 2024. Saturn, as we know, is the planet of karma. Saturn is the planet of career, hard work. All of those things may have been compromised in the past 5 months because Saturn has been retrograde since June 17th. So now Saturn is going direct. So especially big improvement in career in general. But Saturn is the ruler of your 12th house and your Lagna. So those houses will improve tremendously. So Saturn is the ruler of the 12th house and ruler of the Lagna, sitting in the Lagna, in the Mula Trikona sign, own sign, Aquarius, right? So, and sitting in the Lagna, Saturn is going to cast a third aspect in your third house, seventh aspect in your seventh house, and of course, 10th aspect on your 10th house. That means these houses will improve now. For the past 5 months, you may have had obstacles with respect to these houses because Saturn was retrograde. So there may be issues with your siblings, issues with your communication, issues with your relationships, issues with your partners, issues with your profession, with your superiors, with the name and fame. Those things will start getting resolved now. You may still have obstacles in these areas, but those obstacles are needed. You need to get over those in order to make progress based on your past life karma. Those obstacles will depend on your past life karma. But without overcoming those obstacles, you cannot make progress. So that's the job of Saturn. So, but you will make progress in the right direction regarding these 3 houses. Most of all, the 2 houses that will be impacted are the 12th house and the Lagna. So that means you'll have a lot of spiritual inclination. 12th house is spirituality. There'll be influence of foreigners on you, foreign culture, foreign people, foreign travel. You'll develop very mystical perspective on things. There'll be self-reflection. Okay, so huge. This is a great time to go within, discover yourself, who you are, personality development, be mature. You'll evolve during these 5 months, these next 7 months. You'll evolve as a very mature soul, very mature person. There's also potential for isolation, like 12th house is in focus. So, excellent time to go on a retreat. And things like that. Go on a foreign trip, a pilgrimage. All those things will be excellent. Focus on your unconscious mind. Okay, there'll be hidden talents you'll discover during these 6-7 months. There may be tendency of escapism, like 12th house is like just forget everything and retreat and do nothing. So be careful about that. But there'll be huge potential for inward journey, develop personality development, and becoming more mature. That's the key theme for Aquarius rising. So that's the overall analysis for Aquarius rising for Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th through June 29th. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So next will be Pisces rising. Okay, so we're talking about Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th through June 29th for Pisces rising. Saturn has been retrograde for the past 5 months since June 17th. And so these areas which are ruled by Saturn may have been compromised. So especially our career may have been difficulties in our career, in our profession. And we may not have been, feeling very responsible, accountable. Those things will improve now. Now, Saturn is the 11th house ruler and the 12th house ruler for Pisces rising, sitting in the 12th house. Okay, so these houses will improve dramatically. But sitting here, Saturn is casting a third aspect on your second house. Saturn is having a third aspect on your second house. Saturn is having a 7th aspect on your 6th house. And Saturn is having a 10th aspect on your 9th house. So things related to these three houses may have been suffering in the past 5 months, meaning family wealth, family issues, difficulty with speech, with your food, difficulty with your health, with your work, 9 to 5 job, difficulty with your weaknesses, with your enemies, issues with, facing enemies and things like that, and issues with your father, with your gurus, with your maybe obstacles in your higher education, things like that. So those things really improve now. So better period, these next 7 months will be good for family wealth, for family relationships, for your speech, for the food, your diet will improve, and you'll overcome your shadripus. Good time to start health routines. Your shadripus, the 6 weaknesses you'll overcome. A good time to do volunteer work. Good time to focus on your job. There'll be improvement in your job, good results. And then also relationship with your father, with your superiors, with your gurus will improve. But most importantly, the 11th house and 12th house will gain. That means you may develop some private friendships. 12th house is secrecy and all, right? So, and then 11th is friendships. So maybe some kind of very deep private friendships, not out in the open. Maybe you'll develop some secret goals, secret aspirations. This 11th house is desires and goals, and 12th house is secrets. You'll develop some secret desires or goals or aspirations. That's good. And there may be you'll do maybe some spiritual activities with your friends, some charitable activities with your friends. Excellent time for that. That can be one of the remedies to improve this placement, this transit. You may develop some unconventional friendships. 12th house is, things like blind spot. You cannot see very easily. So not very conventional. So unconventional friendships may develop. You may, have you may help your friends secretly, or some of your friends may help you secretly, okay, anonymously, things like that. But excellent time to go within, go on a retreat, go on a pilgrimage, go to a foreign country, go learn about foreign culture, foreign things, foreign trips, and astral travel, and energy healing, things like that. That will give you financial gains, and you can do that with your friends, and those could be developed as your long-term desire, long-term aspiration, goals. So that is the impact of Saturn's direct motion in the sign of Aquarius from November 4th through June 29th for the sign of Pisces rising. So if